Hello and welcome to the 97th edition of TLR Shows. I am Parth Saluja. I'm a law student and a host of this edition. So TLR Shows are a flagship live stream shows brought to you by TLR Now, a niche coaching, training, and mentoring service provider based out of Pune in India, and they are expanding to other countries as well. TLR shows are one place where you meet amazing people, such as our guest today, and people who share their expertise, their experience to transform lives and help upgrading others' lives for a better future. Today, we have rather honored to have Mr. Atul Kulkarni, who is an IPS officer from the 2015 batch, Maharashtra cadre, who secured an All India rank of 180 in civil services examination in 2014. He has also completed his bachelor's in computer science from the National Institute of Engineering, Mysore. He's also been in TIS, did an urban planning course there, and he's also a recipient of various awards, and he continues to drive various social initiatives. He has come a long way, starting his journey as a software developer and now additional superintendent of the police, Chandrapur, Maharashtra, India. If I could go on any longer, I believe the time of the whole show would be less for us. So, uh, welcome, sir. Let's begin the show.
Thank you, Parth,
Yeah.
and TLR team for inviting me here.
All right. So we'll just start off right off the bat. I'll just ask a question to you. Well, let us start off with how you came to be in the position you hold today. What your early childhood was like, and what were the kind of events or circumstances or people who nudged you towards civil services? And was IPS always on your mind?
Actually, it's a good question. I am basically a software engineer. So I did my engineering in NI College, Mysore, and then after that, normally after engineering, we get into placement. So I sat for the placements. I got two offers. Then I joined a company called Mindtree in Bangalore. So I was a software developer. So I worked for 3 years in cyber security and network security for a US client. I didn't have any idea about civil services, what is happening in the society. So we were just techie guys being ourselves in our own world. Then some incidences which happened in my life, so I got exposed to few of the social initiatives in Mindtree company. So they were doing two things. One is green initiatives where they we're doing tree planting and other initiatives for greening the campus where we were actually working. Then second one was related to say differently abled person where
Okay.
we were given mentorship opportunities. So
Wow.
I had a good opportunity to mentor a differently abled guy. He was very brilliant, genius guy, but he couldn't even sit on the chair. So he had
I
different
see.
very valuable ideas for his kind of people. So then what we did is we tried to code his ideas and then came up with applications. And he actually got two patents in a matter of 1 year. So this
Oh, wow.
inspired me. And then I used to visit a few NGOs in Bangalore, then got exposed. Then I thought, I started thinking, why not get into full stream civil services preparation? At 2010, had got opportunity to go to US. A job offer was there. Then either give my MBA or GRE and then get into different foreign college and continue my career.
Right.
But I choose to go and write entrance exam of Tata Institute of Social Science test. It is a
Right.
social science college. And then I
Right.
got into test in 2010. It was a urban planning and policy course, mostly related to city planning development with all the social issues. There I got real good exposure on of the society, like different issues in city like waste management and water issues, slums. how housing problems are there and livelihood. We
Right.
went to Dharavi and Manpur slums, and then used to interview people, homeless people in the night. It was very touching. So how people stay without any shelter, any roof on their head, and
Wow.
what is their life like, what they do, and what is the struggle. So this actually gave me a very different perspective of the society where we are living and how we are making policies, etc. After that, I joined Nasik Municipal Corporation as a consultant.
Okay.
There, all the development issues of same issues like water, riverfront development, housing was what we were doing. But being a consultant, I had seen corporate sector. Then I was like a consultant for a corporate company, and then working with the government. It was a very different experience because you can give your ideas.
Right.
Ultimately, government, the commissioner, and the system there has to take the decisions and then make it work on the ground. So
Right.
that was I thought I should get into government decision making. Then I left that company and then I joined an NGO based in Bangalore called Argyam. It is run
Okay.
by Nandan Nilakani ma'am. So she's wanted to do something on water sanitation sector. So we used to fund different small NGOs, grassroots NGOs across India. So I was looking at different projects like in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Kerala, Telangana, etc. So we used to travel and then meet a lot of people. So there I met in Chhattisgarh. I and my colleague, we had gone there. We were in the village. There it was a tribal village, and then
Right.
there we found that people were more educated. How do we save water? Because water was very scarce because of quality issues. Then we came up with a plan and then we presented it to the collector there, collector sir. So then when I visited Kerala there, I met a collector there. So we made a presentation. He said, "This is brilliant idea. Stay for 3 more days. We will make it a district plan." So I'm very
Wow.
impressed with how the collector and the whole
Right.
entire government machinery works. So he said,
Right.
see, in NGO you can do many things, small pilot projects.
Right.
But if you want to do anything at scale, only government does it, and the entire system is there to handle all these things. So I was very impressed. My boss was there. I requested my boss, like I was almost ending my UPSC attempts. I said, boss, only two attempts are there, and then
Okay.
why not try for the exam? So
Right.
I can tell you that at the age of 29, I gave my
Yes.
first attempt. There was only 1 month left for my prelims, and
Oh my God.
I took a very big risk of
Of course.
preparing prelims. So I had the basic knowledge about UPSC and other things. Uh, I then shifted to Chennai just for work and studying. Chennai was like summer; it was like very hot. It
Yeah.
was April May season. I couldn't even sit.
It's quite
So
humid. Quite humid.
yeah, quite humid. And I used to sit on the trot for like 10 hours,
Oh my God.
15 hours. And then because if you ask any student within 1 month, you have to prepare for prelims, no one will say, no one will take
Right.
this risk.
Yeah.
So that was very challenging, but uh, I couldn't clear the prelims. I had missed by 0.66 mark. So when I saw
Oh.
the result, I was like, my name was not there in the list. UPSC just releases the list, the
Right.
numbers of the whole numbers. So
Right.
it was not there. I was like very disheartened. And then what I did is I started preparing for my mains. The next final attempt was in 2014. So
Right.
I had 1 year. Then I started preparing, and luckily I could get through the 2014 exams.
Right. Wow. So, what were your preparation years like? How did you manage your time? How did you keep your head straight? You said you were working as well at the same time while you were in Chennai. So, how did you give so much? Because A friend of mine is also preparing for the civil services, and she has no time in her hands whatsoever. So how did you manage to work for it and study for it, also while having a job, also while working, and also being 29 years of age?
Yeah, that was very challenging. I had to strategize myself, and most of my other say social functions, your family functions,
Hmm.
all these things had to be cut off. There was only two things: work that too for your survival or livelihood,
Right.
and second one was preparation. So your entire time used to go in preparing, making strategies, giving mock exams, mock tests, and then revising all these things. So I had to keep my focus. It is very difficult. UPSC cycle is very huge. You have prelims, mains, and then interview. It
Right.
nearly takes 1 year of your time for the entire cycle. So even if you miss at one level, then you have to restart from the first step. So and then the preparation strategy itself was uh, very challenging. When prelims, yeah, prelims is was a different thing. In 2013, the entire syllabus was changed. New
Okay.
papers were introduced in the mains. So
Right.
it was actually in a sense good because the older students who were preparing for long, they also had to upgrade
Prepare
the
again. Right.
knowledge and then write the exam. So that gave a little chance for all the newcomer, means the preparing for the
Right.
first time, second time.
Right.
So that was the advantage for me in the mains. Prelims was also the preparation itself. We had to strategize because UPSC ask anything under the sun. So
Right.
history, I had to identify. What I did is I identified what were my weak areas when I gave my
Right.
exam in 2013. So history, the environment sections were asked more than current affairs. So I did a strategy so that my weak areas were covered. And then
Right.
once my prelims was cleared, then I focused completely on my mains and
Right.
answer writing. So the TIS kind of institute which had given me a lot of skills in answer writing and
Right.
because of my research and etc. So I was able to attempt the mains pretty well.
Right. 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 So once you were once you were through, once you were done with your mains, once you were done with your what was the interview like? We see so many videos on YouTube, on everywhere. There's always a video on my Instagram. Okay, this was asked, that basically the most random thing which is there on the planet could be. So what was the interview like, and how was it? It seems very intimidating to me for someone from the outside. But what was it like it for you? What did they ask you?
Interview, I had actually cleared the forest service exam also.
Okay.
It is the same exam we write. Prelims is the same, so
Right.
we had gave the same prelims. So forest service has a higher cutoff. So I was in the forest service in the mains also. I had written my
Right.
mains for forest service, and then after I wrote my civil service main on that final day of the exam of main. So we got the forest service results. So I was selected for the interview.
Okay.
From then I started preparing for forest service interview. So forest service interview was pretty good. Alka Shiroi ma'am was the board. She was a IAS officer. So retired IAS officer. She was one of the hardest boards. She was
Right.
very particular and very technical. If you are a
Okay.
company, see, you ask me all the questions on forestry,
Right.
species of birds, even Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and trees and animals, many things. So I had done work on these NGOs, lakes, etc. So many things was asked, and then suddenly I thought it was over. She started asking other board members also asked many questions,
Right.
and she I came back to computer engineering. I said, "Ma'am, I've left my knowledge of computer engineering and software engineering. He said, no, no, no. You have studied, you have spent your 4 valuable years. I said, yeah, I don't know what I did my engineering college, but she didn't leave me. She asked about the 7 layers of computer architecture,
Oh my God. Oh my
for
God.
network layer. I told a few of the things, and then I was very honest. So they
Right.
basically, one thing is you have to be very clear. You have to show
Right.
your. It's a personality test, not an about knowledge test. So they
Right.
check
Right.
your the frankness. What How do you reply? Whether you are honest in your replies. If you simply bluff around and give a long answer, this is what all is checked. So after that,
Right.
uh, my yeah, civil service interview came. Board was what do you say? It was odd time in the my my number was last but one. It was 4:30 in the evening. It was very
Oh.
hot. Summer,
Yeah.
May
Right.
in Delhi. You should know how hot it is. April,
Oh
May.
yeah. Right.
So the board was very tired. So they asked 2 3 questions, and then the chairman went off to the restroom. He didn't come for 15 minutes.
Oh my
Two
God. Okay.
council members were sleeping. I don't know whether deliberate or what was it. So two people were sleeping. They were not even looking at me.
Right.
One
Right.
person was just asking as if like he's doing some service to the
Yeah.
country. So he asked me. Then one person asked me question for 3 minutes,
Oh.
like figure out whether that was a question or an answer, whether it
Yeah.
was discussion. Then I couldn't say, please repeat it, sir, because he already he had spoken for 3 minutes.
Right.
Uh,
Right. Right.
when I started answering, he said, no, no, this is not what I'm asking. I'm
Right.
trying to ask. Then he again spoke for 2 minutes. Then he
Right.
lectured me, and uh, then he said, okay, fine.
Oh.
Another person was he just woke up and then randomly asked, have you seen war movies? Tell me a few war movies. I said, sir, I don't have that as a hobby, nor I have any interest. Why
Right.
are you asking this? So luckily, I had watched some war movies just to
Right.
understand. So
Right.
he started asking about that movie and then character, and then he
Oh.
asked about history. So there is
Right.
absolutely nothing you can prepare. You can prepare your biodata, and then
Right.
all your background of your education, hobbies, etc. But you have to be genuine in your
Right.
answers, and it
Of
is
course.
all little luck, and they test your personality.
Right.
Here, forest service, I got one of the top marks out
Oh
of
wow.
270 210, and civil
Wow.
services, I missed by 10 15 marks. So I got
Oh. Okay.
175
Right.
out
Right.
of. So little bit average was around 150 170.
I
So I
see.
guess just got above average. So this was the
Wow.
experience of the interview.
Wow. That was the second interview was pretty chaotic. Like anything was happening anywhere.
Yes.
All right. So once you, what you did manage to clear the chaotic one as well, and once you got into training, what was that like? How do they train IPS officers?
Yeah, fantastic. This is IPS training is one of the what very disciplined and hardest
I
training we
see.
have. Basically physical outdoor training, and then you have the indoor training. So
Okay.
every day at 5 o'clock to 5:15, you have to be ready and then be present on the ground. So we have the basic drills, and then 5:30 you are running on the ground. So
Oh my God. Okay.
five, what happens is during UPSC you're not even no, not even walk properly. You're sitting and
Right.
just you don't have any physical activity.
Right.
Uh, Once we went there, 1 week they just toned up, and they said from from the second week your 0 week is over and your first week starts.
Oh my
So they
God. Okay.
different discipline.
Right.
You have to sleep at a particular time. Before 9:30, 10 o'clock you are off. Then
Right.
morning, the tea guy comes. I said, I don't drink tea. Don't wake me up. He said, no, no, this is the drill. We will have to wake you up at 4:30.
Okay.
No matter if you drink tea or not drink tea, green tea, etc. He said, no, we'll wake you up. I'll
Right,
keep
right,
you. Sir, if you don't drink also, I don't care, but I will have to wake you up. It is my duty, he said. I said, what is this? So this
right,
was like
right,
a completely different kind of
right. Life.
institute. So the
Right.
SVP NPA in Hyderabad,
Okay.
National Police Academy, is
Oh, okay.
one of the best, finest
Yes.
training institute for IPS.
Right, right,
So for it is one of the very beautiful campus, very disciplined.
right. Okay.
You are taught all the skills, all these outdoor things. We have this horse riding, weapon training,
Okay.
then
Okay.
combat training. You have all the martial arts, karate,
Right,
kung fu,
right,
all the martial arts. Then uh, we are taught there are this running things. Evenings we have sports. There are hurdles you have to cross. The hurdles as you see in army campus.
right,
So there
right,
are
right, right,
different hurdles where we have to cross, and most of it the weapon training, firing sessions where you have one is weapon training. How do we handle all the weapons? What is
right,
the
right,
mechanism? Then you
right,
actually do the firing. So
right,
that was that was very interesting. Uh,
right.
After that, 9 to 4 o'clock, we have indoor sessions with a
Okay.
lunch break in between. So you have to be punctual. You have to be in this class before 5 minutes before the session.
Right,
Everything is based on clock. 1 minute, uh,
right.
you are late, you are out. It means you
Oh,
cannot enter the class.
right,
You are
right,
marked
right,
absent. You can sit, but you are marked absent. So if you are late in 5 classes, then you are called to a next batch. So it is like so difficult to maintain the discipline. After your morning session, you are so tired that generally after your breakfast, so you just tend to sleep in the class. So they had installed CCTV cameras. So
Oh my
whoever is
God. Oh my
used to get
God.
pictures. So
Oh,
it was very interesting, and we got lot of exposure.
right,
We had lot of good lectures, officers
right,
on
right,
different things on national security, internal
right,
security, terrorism,
right.
and many things. So we had a lot of attachments. We have this Masuri attachment, ITBP attachments, where we did all this bungee jumping,
Okay.
river rafting, and
I see.
many ITBP exercises like for 40 kilometers, 25 kilometers activity in the
Right.
mountains. So
Oh,
rock
okay.
climbing, rock climbing was also very nice. So it was all this exposure we got. Then we have compulsory jungle attachment. So
Okay.
you stay in jungle for 8 days on the tactical means anti-Naxal operations
Right,
uh,
right.
trainings. We had attachment with Greyhounds, Telangana. So
Okay.
we were in the jungle for 8 full days. So yeah,
Wow.
you have whatever you want, you can carry. So we have one bag. You have to take your own ration for 8 days. If you
Right,
want cook, whatever, all the vessels, cooking vessels, uh, water, and anything. So we had to plan every single gram of what we were carrying, because
right,
every day we had to walk around 15 kilometers, 15 to 20
right,
kilometers with some
right,
activity. Means we
right,
were going in the jungle, then the Naxals attack. We have to take
right,
fire cover and then fire back. So in the night we are sleeping, so someone comes and attacks our camp. So
right,
night we have to be alert. Every one person does a duty of guard duty for 2 hours. So it was very tough. I mean, you have no mobile phones. Everything in the campus, you don't have mobile phones at all.
right.
So after this training, you found that you are cut off from the entire civilization. You have no,
Right,
and then
right,
your 20 people in your group, they become your family, and It
Right.
is
Right.
emotional plus physical. All these things we keep. You have to share and then come out of the jungle successfully. So it is like
Okay.
that was one of the hardest kind of training. We get exposed to all the central government institutions,
Okay.
CBI, IB, or
Right.
etc.
Right. The agencies. All right. All
Attachment
right.
there. Then we go. Best part was the Bharat Darshan. So we
Okay.
are taken to 4 different states and then
Okay.
visit different spots. So, like we had gone to Sikkim, we had visited
Wow.
all the army forward posts and
Right.
then tourist spots also, and calling on the governor and the police officers there. So that was for 15 days. That was the best part of the training. We have army
Right.
attachment and CRPF attachments. And phase two, we have this passing out parade.
Okay.
So that was the most beautiful ceremonial drills we have, and that was one of the most memorable thing. So this is how the training
Wow.
span out,
That's
and in between you have the district training also. We go back to the
okay.
districts, then
Right.
whatever we have learned, we use it in our districts, and then come back to the academy and say what is the difference between our practical and the reality in the ground.
Right.
So
Right.
amazing thing. Training is very beautiful. So we learned a
Yeah,
lot of
I can imagine. Yeah.
skills in the academy.
So would you say that everything that you learned in the training, or everything that IPS officers, IPS candidates rather learn in the training, uh, do you think that would there be any changes you would like to make to the training process, if any, to better equip yourself to the contemporary issues of policing and policing techniques? Would you change anything? Some changes which are like obvious to you that this needs to be changed?
Yes, academy NPA keeps asking us feedbacks
Right. Right.
about different things what is happening in the field. So new things such as cyber security and
Right.
cyber warfare. These
Right.
things were just basic things were taught. Once we are in the field, we face a lot of issues with many of the cyber crimes.
Right.
Second is in Maharashtra and many of these left-wing districts. I was posted
Right.
in a left-wing district, so we have this tactical thing that is nice. But most of the technologies what are used, those things were not taught.
Right.
So NPA keeps asking us feedback, and they keep
Right.
reform the methods
Okay.
and style. So these are one or two things we are given feedback. They are also included in the academy
That's great.
curriculum and the course itself.
Right. So, sir, you spoke about cybersecurity and how you feel that this was imminent. It had to be included in the training. So you said that you come from you did your bachelor's in software engineering, and you come from a computer science background. So, how do you believe it has helped you to navigate these challenges better than your peers because of your background, who don't, of course, your peers who don't have this background? Do you feel it has made any difference at all?
Yes, the different types of cyber crimes have rapidly grown.
Right, right,
After COVID times, most of the people started using online platform. Even
right,
schools, colleges, all the students are using all the everything is online. So we are also now using online apps and all
right,
the
right,
conferences. So the tremendous rise in the use of online space by most of the online users. So many times we could have offline sessions, but nowadays online sessions have increased. So this
right,
becomes a breeding ground for the criminals.
right,
So the criminals find different ways to do crimes. So we have multiple kind of crimes which are happening. be it financial crimes, banking sector
Right.
crimes,
Right.
like your OTPs and other
Right.
crimes. We have all these fake websites, fake COVID certificate scams. So these are one another thing. Travel portals, travel agent scams. Uh, so the many different scams, OLX scams. New things are investment scams. So you invest in a scheme and your money rebels. Invest in
Right.
Bitcoin. So Bitcoin
Right.
has become a new big thing. Then the major things are sextortion.
Right.
I was seeing an interview of senior police officer. He was saying that India has become sextortion capital of the world. So
Right.
we have multiple cases of sextortion. So the people are extorted, blackmailed uh, from very young people to ladies, to very old people also. So this has become very rampant, and the cyber criminals are active in different parts of pockets. You can say different pockets. They have become gangs in their own villages. Small
I see.
villages like Jamtara in Rajasthan, some districts in Alwar and districts. There are some pockets. The entire village itself,
All right.
entire village itself is involved in cyber crime.
Right.
So
Right. Right. Right.
it is what do you say? Uh, Pretty pretty dangerous situation. So this knowledge about my cyber security and other things, I'm trying to inculcate in our police force by training and the trying to solve the cases using technical methods.
Right.
The second thing is digital forensics, how we use
Right.
the digital evidences and then uh, try to solve the cases. So, being a computer engineer, I'm able to handle uh, the cyber crimes. Second one is the innovation. How do we uh, bring in e-governance, smart policing
Right.
into the policing system so that it becomes systematic and we are able to solve the people's problems at large.
Right. 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 Well, that's fascinating, and as you said, that there has been a huge wave of crypto. I believe we lost Mr. Atul Kulkarni for I believe for a moment. Anyway, he makes a very valid point about the rampant cyber crime which is there in India as of now, and as he said, India has become the sextortion capital of the world. I believe that more and more training and more technical training to police personnel uh, is more important now than it ever was to actually deal with these contemporary issues. Um, anyway, I was actually going to ask sir about a huge wave of crypto which has hit us all and hit a lot of other countries in various directions, and I wanted to ask him as to uh, how would something of this sort, how would something so untraceable, something which is so which is not conspicuous at all, something which is um, so new that a lot of people, even people who are dealing with it on an everyday basis, do not exactly completely understand it, and something which is changing on a daily basis. How do we regulate it? How do we govern it? How do we try to trace crime? How do we try to catch hold of people who are actually using these types of currencies? Well, also we also spoke about how Atul sir also has a background in computer science, and how because of that as well. Um, yeah. Hello, sir.
Yeah,
All
I
right. Yeah, so I was just going to ask you that you mentioned about crypto. You said that is also becoming
yeah,
huge right now. So,
I listened to your question.
all right,
There are two things. What is there? Basically, crypto itself is not. it's not criminalized. Means there is no clear-cut policy whether
right,
you're a normal citizen, you are a trader sitting in Mumbai, Gujarat, wherever. You are trading, you have your account in exchanges, and then you are trading, investing in cryptos, and then you know where to put money, and then you are trading, you are getting back the money also safely. So it is. This is not a problem. This is
right,
perfectly legal. You can
right,
do that. So, but the problem happens is the cyber criminals are using this thing. So I was handling right now. Also, I'm handling a big scam. So the investment scheme was floated. So they were promised to give big returns. Your money will double in 6 months, 1 year, etc. So people have put in invested crores of money in cryptocurrency. The person who was handling this, he invested a few of the money in cryptocurrencies, but then he started his own coin, and then he said instead of bitcoins, I will give you a different coin. So this was like a Ponzi scheme he
right,
ran, and from there it becomes a criminal thing because
right,
say X person Parth is investing in some X kind of scheme, and then you are given a fake coin. It is not like a real coin. If you are given a real coin and then you have your certificate, means you are invested in this, you have got your proof, that is fine. But this person did a Ponzi scheme, and then lakhs of people he has cheated. So this becomes very difficult. People come saying that we have invested money, and then we ask what is the proof. Show me all the proof. This show some online receipt, and then they don't have proper proofs. Then we started investigating this case, and everything is blockchain. This is
right,
uh, crypto is a difficult thing, and the money just goes off. It is not that it is stable. You have 100 bitcoins in a wallet in this place today. It has gone to 10,000 wallets in 2 days. So we are trying to analyze a few wallets with their private keys, and then it has gone to many other things. So there is another angle of the mining. So
right,
which how did this person mine so many bitcoins? Which are the companies where he had kept his servers? Tracking this is very difficult. The team
right,
which is working here uh, also have to be trained. We have to use specific tools to track the entire transactions. Then we have
right,
to write to exchanges, get the chain, and then try to try to nab the culprit, and try to link all these transactions with the culprit. So it is very challenging. It is all technical in the digital field.
right,
Most of these cyber criminals in this field, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies at least, are sometimes they kept servers outside India. Now they
right,
are staying
yes,
outside India, and even physically untraceable. So
right,
uh, you cannot trace them. You have traced them that they are outside India. So they are sitting outside the country and then running the show, and lots of people have invested this because you invested. Say your
right,
cousin has invested in this. He is getting money. He said 6 लाख मैंने इन्वेस्ट किया, अभी मेरे को पैसा आ गया, आई एम गेटिंग रिटर्न. So you invested 2 3 months, you saw you were getting good returns, and then you thought you will invest more. So like that, people have invested crores, 100 crores,
right,
500 crores.
wow,
It is very big. I call this like a online daroda. Means physically people are not entering your house and
right,
then stealing everything. So
right,
some criminals sitting in
right,
villages are not like hi-fi villages.
right,
They are sitting in some remote village, and they have some databases, hacked databases, or they have got all your personal data, and they are calling people randomly. It can be
right,
anyone, senior citizen or student, anyone, and they are not like whether it is Mumbai or Delhi or I am in a remote place, Chandrapur. So they are
Right.
least concerned who is this person, where is he sitting.
Right. Right.
If they are falling in their trap, then you are losing all your hard-earned money. So we
Right.
see here we have two, three cases we got in last 1 month. So farmer,
Oh.
poor farmer, he has earned all his the last season he has plowed all his effort and got the money. He has kept it in his bank. Suddenly gets
Right.
a call saying that I'm calling from SBI. Your card is getting blocked. You share your OTP. So he doesn't know. He's a poor guy
Right.
and he got
Right.
some OTPs he shared. He thought my my account will get blocked if I don't
Right.
share this. So
Right.
then he shared the OTP and then he lost all the money. After
Oh
one
my
month, he
God.
to the bank. He says, I want to withdraw 1 lakh. Now I have to, next season, I have to start buying seeds, etc.
Right.
The
Right.
manager said, there is no money. You have only
Right.
10 rupees left.
Oh
So
my
he
God.
came crying. He came to police station saying, I have lost all the money. Now you trace it. So it was 1 month late. And once we analyzed everything, it was a typical crime.
Right.
So this is happening to many people, and hard-earned money. Senior citizens lose their pension, or
Right.
poor person loses his money. Young students also, I tell, he are getting attracted. I've seen a case, 18-year-old guy. He wanted to join a medical college.
Right.
So fees are very high, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. So he thought
Right.
I will take some 10 lakhs from my parents.
Right.
He invested it in some schemes. He thought it will become 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs. He thought he will pay for his own college fees, but he lost the entire money. The
Oh
entire
my
money
God. Right.
so parents were like, your career is now start means your admission was supposed to happen. You are supposed to focus on your studies, and you are invested all the money. So the many cases are happening. Even women and children they are targeted, and that is also a very serious thing.
Sir, I would say that the prevention probably is the right way to go. And as we have become, I would say we've become cyborgs now, half human, half robo. We see, uh, I mean, just look at our phones. They are our personal extensions. Someone going through our phone, without if they have the full access of it, is as good as violating us personally, physically. So when the whole world is on their phones, how do you feel that we can spread some awareness against these kind of cyber crimes, which are avoidable cyber crimes, so to speak? How do you feel that we can spread awareness on that? And I believe there are certain initiatives also which have been taken. Would you like to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, I think cyber awareness is very important. Even if you are educated, a lot of educated people are losing,
Right.
getting trapped in the cyber crime. So many police districts or commission, even in cities, they have started huge awareness campaigns. It can be
Okay.
Gurgaon, we have seen in Mumbai, Delhi, etc. But
Right.
first time we started in a rural place.
Right.
Chandrapur
Right.
had a cyber week just last
Wow.
week, March
Wow.
2nd, March 8th. We had huge awareness campaign. So we visited all the schools. We have 34 police stations in this Chandrapur districts. It's a remote district in Maharashtra,
Okay.
uh, bordering Telangana.
Right.
So half of it is forest and tribes. So it was a challenge for us to reach because COVID was there. We are
Right.
schools, colleges are closed. So
Right.
luckily in March, most of the school colleges opened. So all the 34 police stations were instructed to do two events per day. So visiting schools, colleges, doing campaign. Then on the streets we had rally, cycle rally, and other things. So that awareness was created. We gave lectures. We had created awareness videos. I will
Right.
share you on the group. So you can also search on Chandrapur District Police YouTube channel. You'll get all the
Okay.
videos. it is
Okay.
quite interesting. Everyone can see that
Right.
4 or 5 years we have created just
Right.
to create awareness.
Right.
After that, we told real cases how what to do, what not to do. Privacy was is a very big thing. So you most
Right.
of your data is available to any one of us.
Right.
So how crimes just because you are sharing your status on your WhatsApp or Facebook, criminal are tracking that one very interesting peculiar crime. A criminal there was a housebreaking case
Okay.
in a very remote place. We went there. The family had gone for 5 6 days for a trip, and they came back. They saw everything was gone.
Hmm.
So peculiar thing they said is the kitchen. There was some cooking done. So the theft had used all the vessels, etc. So
Wow.
I there after say 1 month we got that
Oh,
uh,
wow.
and the
Wow.
first question I asked
Kudos.
him, what were you doing for 3 days? Very cooking and sitting. What? How did you come to know? He said, I was seeing everything on the Facebook. So
Right.
he said, checked into Nagpur airport,
Oh
then
my
checked
God.
into Goa, Goa
Right.
hotel. Then we got this beach, that beach. Then they said
Right. Oh my
coming back to
God.
Nagpur. So he said, I knew where the family
Wow.
was, and I know I was very safe, and I found all the items in the house. So I was very happy in the house. So when they said they're coming back, so he said, I just left from this place. So you don't know what you have shared in your
Right.
because you wanted to share your happiness, your vacation
Right.
pictures.
Right.
It was used by another person to commit crime. So
Right.
privacy becomes very
Right.
important.
Right.
Whoever the listeners here, you can check 99% people. You can find some other thing about you on the net. So all this awareness we try to create among the citizens, and hopefully becomes a huge movement across India.
Right. So, sir, you also spoke about the fact that you were posted in some left wing areas, extremist areas, areas which are infested with Naxal terrorism, and a lot of Naxalites that you must have dealt with. So, in I believe in the late 19th century is when psychologists realized that ideas can actually consume you, they can possess you, they can stick to you like parasites. We have spoken about how to deal with crime, how to deal with terrorism, how to deal with mischievous activities. How do you counter an ideology, sir?
Yeah, it is very good questions.
Right.
This is what we faced when I was posted in left-wing district in
Right.
here Maharashtra.
Right.
So it is basically the ideology, the uh, brainwashing, what you called. So may be it terrorism or left-wing ideology, you have certain ideas. What is ideology? You have following a certain set of ideas, and then you are saying that this itself is a correct way of reaching your goal, etc. The way development should be, uh, uh, how society should progress,
Right.
what are things people should do, etc. This is a set of ideas become an ideology. So they
Right.
have set of ideas where they think that the poor is not getting
Right.
benefit, the tribals, their land, water, jungle is like taken away, etc. And then they become poor. The corporates are actually looting them, etc. So they have their own ideology. So countering this thing, we started community development programs in the
Wow.
district. So we
Right.
try to involve the youth, the women, and we started many initiatives like skilling. We focused on 3 4 things. One is education. So all the kids who are going to schools, we made them functioning so that they go to schools, they get their basic education. Second, the youths who were educated, so they were not getting jobs. They were in their
Right.
villages because of
Right.
COVID. They were not going out itself. So we started many skill development initiatives. So we had different companies do a training. So like electrical, solar-based training, then
Okay.
different kinds of hand pumps, etc. The minor things, even vehicle repairs. So these kind of workshops we started. And so we started driving, driving sessions, driving classes. So many of them got driving classes. So they
So
were
all this
employed.
was done by the Indian police. All these
So yeah,
workshops, training. Wow. Wow.
so we were facilitating. We were not
Wow.
doing. We were
Right.
facilitating
Right.
other say NGOs and
Wow.
other companies. They used to come.
Right.
Then we focused many things on sports. So
Right.
they're very strong
Right.
guys, Adivasis. So we trained 100 of them for marathon. So
Wow.
in Mumbai marathon, out of 10 people, 4 people were in the top 10. So
Wow.
they ran without shoes. So
Oh my
yeah,
God. Wow.
people in
That's
Mumbai
wonderful.
ran. They were in top five. So people there
Wow.
recognize and they
Right.
were given great honor and
Right.
so many success happened. So there we started kabaddi tournaments, then football tournaments. So this was their local games. So we involved most of the youth in the development.
Right.
So
Right.
once they got jobs, they went outside their villages, and then they got exposed to the city life. They saw different
Wow.
culture. So
Right.
that is how their ideology of their
Right.
world changed. They only not restricted themselves in their village. So they
Right.
get very limited. They are in their own well. What do you call?
Right.
Kupa
Right.
Manduka. So we can
Yes.
call that.
Yes.
And then you are going out of your Kupa Manduka, and then you are seeing the other side of the world. So you
Right.
feel that your culture, you have to be something else. Your aspirations increase. So this is what we try to create. And here in our Chandrapur district, also we last week itself we had skill development program. So we have
Wonderful.
remote villages. So there we did that. So these things have helped the youth and the society, the people there to
Right.
bring in transformation.
Right.
They get
Right.
different exposure and break these ideologies. Ultimately, it
Right.
doesn't have much value, and we are trying to
Right.
shun away from the extreme left-wing
Right.
ideology. This is the
Right.
efforts
Right.
that we.
There was also this huge wave in the United States where there were calls for defunding the police. It centered around racism, and that also shed a lot of light, of course, about a lot of things which are wrong with the with the American law enforcement, but it also shed a lot of light on the kind of challenges that the police personnel faces on a they face on a daily basis. Unpredictable situations, they have, when they go in, where they are going in confronting someone or confronting some criminal or anybody, it is very, very unpredictable, and to be actually very, very well trained requires a lot of resources, requires a lot of time. And as you have said that you started building a community based you had some community based exercises to sort of involve them in your society, involve them in the outside world, to get them out of their own well. So do you feel that these kind of techniques could also be sort of implemented in urban areas, where of course there isn't any ideology which is sort of shadowing over the criminal world, but where there are crimes, places like Delhi, for example, building a where people are distrusted upon, where women cannot go out after a certain point in time. And I come from Ahmedabad. I find this extremely strange. People living there, they've become desensitized to these things. They've become, okay, abhi aisa hi hai, this is how it is. So do you feel that something of that sort can also be implemented in urban areas?
Yeah, this experiment I had tried when I was posted in Thane city
Okay.
during my ASP shift. So we had 4 or 5 major problems. One is women safety. As you said, people were finding it difficult to go in the night or very dark spots weather. So we did a lot of community policing, and then
Right.
street lighting, lighting up the area, and then proper police patrolling. So you don't find the police, you feel scared. If you find a police, you will be feel more secure. The
Right.
second thing was small cases. We used to get very minor cases for litigation. So it can be solved just over a talk. It can be matrimonial disputes or uh, uh, some certain things related to women. It
Right.
can be like society issues. हमने
Right.
चप्पल रखा, why are you keeping in front of my house, or कचरा
Right.
फेंक
Right.
there are fights. Children are playing. They are making a lot of noise. Cricket खेल रहे गली में एक
Right.
ball खिड़की पे मार रहे. So many
Frivolous.
would
Frivolous.
have seen this, and because it is very small, but they come to
Right.
police station, मारामारी हो जाते हैं, someone is
Oh
killed,
my God. Right.
so crime happens. So their record is this criminal record is created. So what we
Right.
started is something called Bharosa Cell.
Okay.
So every Saturday we used to call all such cases into a Bharosa Cell. So we used to all sit 5 different officers. Then we involved women counselors, psychiatrists,
Right.
doctors,
Wow.
uh,
Wow.
and legal counselors, law practitioners like your students like you. So we
Right.
involve them, call them for an internship. We said
Right.
divide,
Right.
sit and solve these cases. So in 6 months we were able to solve more than 1,000 cases. So
Wow.
the
That's
the
wonderful.
visitors, the load on the police station became less. So we
Right.
are able to solve huge number of cases, and then people
Right.
were happy instead of going to the court, and then your money is spent, time is wasted, and once it comes up in the court, that matter itself is resolved. So
Right.
you don't know you are lost all your time and energy.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
we started this, and then it became applicable to the entire Maharashtra. It is now
Wow.
in all the districts across
Wow.
Maharashtra.
Wow.
Third
That's
thing we
wonderful.
started is drug campaign. So in cities we have
Right.
a lot of drug addicts.
Right.
So we there also we started. One is the awareness. We had around 2,000, 3,000 youths who were addicted to drugs.
Right.
So the city, we try to give them counseling, rehabilitation. We are tied up with
Wow.
NGOs, rehabilitation
Right.
centers. Then
Right.
counseling every Saturday. Doctors, we had 15 doctor volunteers, I should say. They had
Wow.
a fabulous job. So they used to give medicines and counseling, mental health, the counseling, etc.
Right.
Uh, that became a big thing. And the main thing was supply of drugs. We took a lot of action on the suppliers.
Right.
We got a lot of information from these people after the counseling. So it was like a big thing. Then fourth one I said about cyber awareness.
Right.
And fifth was about traffic issues. It is all we have traffic issues. So we started traffic awareness campaigns. Road accidents are huge in cities.
Right.
So these are major things which we started.
Wow. Wow. So, I mean, it's not just the software developing background that helped you. I believe this also had a lot to do because these are a lot of new innovative policies that you brought in to resolve certain contemporary issues. Well, I would also like this is also something which has been lingering in my mind, and also I would like to request all our viewers if they have any questions they can post it here. We'll try and ask Mr. Kulkarni if at all possible. Well, I would like to ask you about mental health. Like everybody is talking about it, there has been a very positive wave surrounding it. At least I believe so that people have at least, even though there are a lot of misconceptions around it on both sides, at least people have started talking about it. So being in such a stressful position yourself, how do you compartmentalize everything in your mind? What kind of a mind you take when you go home? How do you sort of take care of your own mental health while dealing with such a world in the day? And how do you manage that, and what do you think institutionally needs to be done for the Indian police so that they can better take care of their minds?
Yeah, this is also a very good question and a huge topic. So, yeah, in COVID, you have seen how police, everyone were inside, but police were working on the field,
Right, right,
trying to ensure that lockdown is effective and essentials are reaching everyone. So, in first phase lockdown, we had a huge problem, and you could see how police were trying to help because suddenly the entire system got closed and people were struggling to even get food. You are seeing lot of migration,
right,
means reverse migration, people
right,
from cities going back to their villages, going in the road, walking, etc. So we had set up many things. Uh, so what happens is my staff, my officers or police men, they ask everyone is inside safe, but we have to go and deal with the COVID on the ground. So
right,
what should we do? We have
right,
lost many of our men
right,
on duty
right.
in COVID itself.
Wow,
So Mumbai police lost around 2,000 plus
wow,
men.
wow.
So it is many other people, many other states would have also faced this issue.
Right,
So this becomes very important that our men are motivated and mental
right.
health becomes a serious issue. So even in Thane, under our guidance of IG sir, we started proper counseling every
Right.
week, a separate counseling and a helpline number. So we had around 15 psychiatrists. So they used to go and then discuss. So we started behavioral change trainings for our men.
Okay.
So they used to open up. There was no senior, junior, etc. So same kind of people were there in the batch. So the hierarchy and the organization that was kept aside, and their focus was on the training.
Right.
So times at the end of the 3 day program, many of them cried because they had
Wow.
so much anger because your family life is affected. You are on
Right.
duty. Any call, you have to leave everything and then go attend
Right.
the duty,
Right.
your bandobast duties, etc. So you are not sitting in AC rooms and doing most of the time.
Right.
So you
Right.
are on
Right.
the ground. It is a lot of trauma happens, and then this is built up in your mind, in your body. It shows in your
Right.
body. So
Right.
we started this counseling. We tried to open up emotionally. Then we started involving their family, the wife and kids.
Right.
We started many programs like just having a dinner with all the men,
Right.
senior officers, junior officers. The senior
Right.
officers are the constables, so they
Right.
felt good. So the uh, whole aura about
Yes.
the senior, junior, all these things have changed, and then
Right.
the way they treat if you are going to a police station, you will find it very difficult to even register a complaint. So
Right.
we
Right.
started training them how you should react with the other person.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how do you sit in their shoes? Like you are itself a complainant and you're going. So how do you
Right.
do that? How you have to be very sensitive and listen to them.
Right. Right.
So here we have started child-friendly rooms. A child
Wow.
victim is there. How do we counsel and if it is a sexual victim, then we
Right.
have to treat it very sensitively.
Right.
So these things are very important, and mental health for our policemen is very important. The most neglected thing. So
Certainly.
we are still starting. We're experimenting, and not become like a national policy or a model.
Right.
So
Right.
hopefully more and more efforts goes in, and then we are if we are able to handle ourselves better, we'll be able to serve the society much better. So this is our efforts. Hopefully
Wow.
it will become more structured in coming days.
Fascinating. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I would, I would like to ask you the last question, and we'll wrap up after that. Uh, So India is a young country. It's one of the youngest countries in the world, and youth, you, me, we want to change a lot of things about our institutions. We look up to them. We're like, okay, these are the things which obviously need to change. And you have changed, or you've brought in a lot of new concepts, a lot of innovative ideas to deal with the problems that police personnel or people or the society in general faces on a day-to-day basis. So, what are some other things that you would some things you have already brought in, some things you would like to bring in? What is your next big goal that you would like to change or you would like to bring in?
Yes, it's you are right. You are right. In now we are the India is having very good demographic dividend. So
Yes.
most of the population is youth. So hopefully the skilling India, all the programs of the government, central government, state government. So it reaches most of the people and the new entrepreneurs, the startup innovation. So that is also on the rise. It is not that you have to be only in government service. You can be doctors, you can be engineer, scientist, you can
Right.
be having any different profession. So now you can see YouTubers and you have media
Yes.
persons, you have film makers. So you
Right.
have n number of opportunities now because the world has opened up. Technology is reaching everyone. So
Right.
there is no there is no there is no means limit to your growth. You can be whatever you can be good. So that is what I appeal to all the youth.
Right.
The institutions are laid out. Most of the institutions are there, and hopefully it becomes more effective because
Right.
persons who are running the institutions have to
Right.
realize the value and then make it better. So hopefully the ideas what we are trying, it becomes institution, because if I'm there here it runs, if I go off it is falling off. When there is no sustained effort, it is not become
Right.
institutionalized. So
Right.
hopefully this happens, and yeah, there we can see a lot of change happening in the society.
Well, I would like to thank you, sir. It was, I would say that I am blown away. I'm fascinated, and I would like to go on, but all of us here have time constraints. But it was wonderful to have this conversation with you, Mr. Atul Kulkarni. Thank you so much for joining. It was not only wonderful, it was an honor to be here and to talk to you. And I believe that this brings us to the end of the 97th edition of TLR shows. It has been one insightful evening for me, a complete understatement. And I hope you all, our viewers, enjoyed it as well as much as I did. Keep watching TLR shows. 20th March, on 20th March, we will be streaming the 100th edition, and that will be one of a kind, I assure you. So follow TLR now on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. There are amazing shows lined up. Uh, Check out more about TLR now at www.tlrnow.com. I'm Parth signing off. You all take care. Is there anything, Atul sir, you would like to say before we wrap it up?
Thank you, Parth. I would like to say one thing. I've written your book on post-independence India for UPSC students. It's
Okay,
available
okay,
on Amazon.
all right,
So most of the UPSC students who are preparing can
right,
refer. It's post-independence India. So that is one thing. I have a blog also, Atul Kulkarni IPS.com. You can blog the entire strategy, whatever we discussed, many of my articles, how preparations should be done, interview questions, everything is
wow,
there freely available on the blog.
wow,
So users can refer to that. I've also started a Telegram group for UPSC students,
right,
free of cost. Many of my friends, officers, we are guiding students, like taking sessions like this and clearing their doubts. So
wonderful,
that's so free of cost. Like we are trying to reach the poor people who don't have the resources to go to
right,
institutions,
right,
get coaching, etc. So these things we are doing, and anything is there, you can always email me, Atul Kulkarni 123 at gmail.com. Thank you, Parth and TLR team. I would like to thank Sri Ramji. So he's the one who connected on LinkedIn, and then this show happened. And Udayan ji for organizing this event. Thank you, team.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.